Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about skin retouching and something called frequency separation. So this is actually something that I just learned really recently because my friend Eli showed me what it was, and it completely rocked my world and changed my life on how I edit close-up pictures of models, and especially models who have bad skin. So luckily this model that I have right here does not have terrible skin, but I'm going to show you guys how to make it look even better. So I'm going to start out by picking out what filter I want on my image like I do normally. LXC, bring up the exposure. I want to make it more clear, so I push the clarity. Bring up the vibrance a little bit. I'm going to take down my blacks and shadows and bring down my whites just a little bit because I want to, there we go, get that milk bath and focus a little bit more. I'm going to bring up this exposure just a tiny bit, right about there. Alright, so I'm going to open my image. And so I downloaded this action online called frequency separation, and it again has changed my life. So what it is basically, it separates the high frequency from the low frequency. So what that means is once I push the action, it's going to separate two layers. One of them is going to be focused on color and tones, and the other one's going to be focused on detail. So as you can tell, that's the detail layer. You can see that her skin texture is there and all the sharpness and stuff like that. And the other layer is going to be color. You can see how it's blurred out and you don't see really any detail whatsoever. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your lasso tool. On lasso, you're going to have it feathered to about 60% is where I have it, and you're going to take a section of the skin, like this section right here is highlighted right here, and I'm going to go to filter, make sure you're on low frequency layer, filter, blur, and then you're going to go to this one right here. I'm going to bring it up to about 17, 14 right there, 16, 14, somewhere around there, and say okay. So you can kind of see the difference there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep on taking sections of her skin and pressing Command F, because Command F takes whatever filter you just applied and redoes it. So I'm going to take the side of her nose right here, Command F, you can tell on that one. Command F right there. Take the highlight on her forehead right here, Command F. A little tiny bit of shadow here. So what this is doing is it's slightly blurring the tones and colors to make a more subtle look. So I kind of over blur it on purpose, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my layer and just turn it down just a little bit. Lip. Refrain from taking out, like going towards the features, just the skin. And then we're gonna go, you can already tell just from doing that, like how much more smooth her skin is. I think smooth skin for this picture was particularly important because I feel like it's very innocent and perfect looking. So this one you should be able to tell really easily that difference right there. I'm gonna come here, I'm gonna take that spot right there. Big enough. Do it one more time. Filter. I'm gonna bring up the blur on that just a little bit. There we go. This corner of the eye. And then just this highlight section here. Actually, I want to undo that. Okay, so there we are. So her skin, just from the skin already, here's the before and after of just her skin. You can tell all of the areas where it looks a lot smoother. I'm gonna go in And go in the high frequency layer, take my I call it the Band-Aid tool, but it's really the hot spot healing brush tool. And I'm gonna take away this hair right here. I do not like it. That little dot right there. Then I'm gonna do the same thing on the low frequency layer of just the color because I feel like it's still there. Alright. So there we go, now that that's gone. So something that I do personally is I just go in with my sharpen tool right here and I sharpen all of her features. So her eyes, make sure on the high frequency layer. I focus on her eyes, tip of her nose, her lips, and her eyebrows. A little bit of this one too. I'm going to come in and sharpen her hair a little bit. Just like that. Think for a second. And then something I do personally too is I take the brush tool and I have it on normal. I'm gonna go 6% and on the color white, and I'm just gonna go over where there's highlights. So on her tip of her nose, I'm gonna brighten it up a little bit. Her forehead right there. Her little cheek right here. I'm gonna make that a little bit bigger. Under her brow bone right here. A little bit of highlight. Alright. So there we have that. I'm going to take this brown color, I'm going to go a little bit darker. I'm going to do the same thing on that color layer. And I'm just going to ever so slightly go over the places where I feel like I'm basically contouring her face, if you're familiar with that concept, right? So I'm going over with basically pretending like it's a foundation brush. I'm going over where I think there's some discoloration. Alright, so again, here's before and after of her face. I'm gonna come in one more time, high frequency layer, and sharpen just this corner of her eye. There we go. Alright, so I'm actually gonna bring this down just a tad. Right about there. So, there we are. So her skin, if you can tell, it still has texture to it. You can take away the texture right there, but you still have little pores and stuff like that. Alright. So hopefully you can see what I've done there. I made her skin seem a lot more soft and angelic. So again, I'm still learning through, going through this learning process, learning the perfect technique for this because it is something that you definitely have to master. This might be my 30th photo I've done this on, but I just had to share it with you guys as soon as possible and invite you on this learning journey with me for frequency separation because again, like I've said, it's changed my life. So if you have any questions, I'm sure I have the exact same question. Go ahead and leave it down in the comment box and I will try to answer it as soon as I can. But yes, this has changed my life and hopefully it will change yours as well. I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.